Greetings from Harrisburg. I'm Andy Hoover, Legislative Director for the American Civil Liberties Union of Pennsylvania. Thanks for checking out the video update. It's been a while since we did one of these, but we are now in the heart of the legislative session as the General Assembly and the Governor are responsible for passing the state budget by June 30th. There are some civil liberties issues on the table, particularly judiciary-related issues, and one in particular I want to focus on. That is a bill to increase the ability of the government and civilians to spy on Pennsylvanians. It's an amendment to the Wiretap Act. This is a bill, House Bill 2400, that has about 13 changes to law in it. And actually, we're okay with about 7 of those provisions. But we have a problem with 6 of them that we think undermine Pennsylvania's right to privacy. It includes several provisions that will debase the two-party consent rule currently in state law in Pennsylvania. Right now, current law is that anybody who is in a private conversation must consent to being recorded. But the way this bill has been written, it allows a number of exceptions that pretty much does away with two-party consent. It's de facto repeal of two-party consent. There's also a provision that allows recording without consent if notice has been posted somewhere. So an employee handbook, a student handbook posted on a wall, people lose their right to privacy and their right to consent to being recorded. There's also a provision that allows law enforcement to take in incoming messages and send out outgoing messages from phones that they have seized. So an informant or someone who's been arrested, their phone ends up in the hands of law enforcement. Law enforcement never has to go to a court to tell them what they're doing under this bill. They could simply intercept the messages coming into the phone and send outgoing messages from it. So this is a bill with a lot of problems. It also has some mobile location data provisions allowing law enforcement to get the data that your cell phone provider stores on where your cell phone has been. Your cell phone sends out a signal to a tower, and your company knows where you've been, even in real time. This bill allows the government to get that information if they can show it's relevant to an investigation. It's a low standard. And so there's some pretty significant stuff here, big brother stuff in this bill. It really encourages neighbors to spy on neighbors, and it is a descent into a surveillance state. So we have to stop this bill. It's House Bill 2400. The bill came out of the House Judiciary Committee this week with bipartisan opposition and bipartisan support. It's one of those bills that doesn't break down along traditional party lines. So sometime in the next week or so, we expect the House of Representatives could take up this bill. Contact your state representative right now and ask them to oppose House Bill 2400. Again, we have no problem with about 7 of the provisions. And usually if you can get 7 things done in the legislature, that's a pretty good track record, but the supporters want to push it and try to gather more power for themselves. There's also some good news. Prisons reform legislation passed out of the House Judiciary Committee, Senate Bill 100. Credit really goes to Senator Stuart Greenleaf, Governor Tom Corbett, and Secretary John Wetzel of the Department of Corrections. They've been the ones who have been pushing to reform our prison system and to get more people into alternative programs. And so that bill should pass before the end of June and be on the governor's desk. So those are the main things from here, barring any surprises. It's the budget season, so surprises are always a possibility. But we're dealing with these judiciary issues right now, and we'll continue to track them as the legislature goes through June and finishes up the state budget. So thanks for checking out the video update. As always, you can check things out all over the internet for the ACLU of Pennsylvania, our website, aclupa.org, Facebook page, Twitter, and our blog. Check those out for updated information. We're here at the state capitol because freedom can't protect itself.